I'll read. So we're 9 months through the year now, 3 quarters of the way through. Wow. And as you can see, in September, we made a total of £2,397. So, not the best, but a bit up on last month. In fact, if looking along here, it looks like it's the third best month, only beat by June and July. August was a little bit down for a number of reasons. So I'm just going to go through each one. But just first off, then just the totals. We're up to £16,500 for the first 9 months, which is really good considering the first 3 months numbers there. Obviously, after that's been boosted considerably by the sort of manual work I'm doing, which wouldn't normally be a factor in this situation, but we decided early in the year that me and Mrs. D would do this campsite wardening work rather than travelling around all summer, which we'd normally do. We've sort of stayed put. I mean, it's still like a working holiday because we've been staying on the campsite. We're ending on the end of October, so only about 4 weeks now left. And so I will get a salary there. We'll get some income there for October. But then November and December is going to tail off with this work, so I'm expecting a poor month in November and December while I'm over in Spain relaxing. I will be doing bits and pieces while I'm over in Spain. I might spend the time as well looking for new ideas, which will be a good idea because I'll have more time on my hands. But anyway, going through the numbers for September then. Starting with Each Way Sniper. Still surprisingly made a profit out of this. I don't know if I've had a lucky month there. I know a lot of people have been saying it's been bad in September. But as you can see, I've made 652.75 on the man, which is my £5 each way bets. £2.50 each way bets. Recently gone up to £3 each way bets, so it's £6 in total. I'm losing. If I lose a race, that's £6 loss. So I'm doing £3 each way. And the boy one, which for the first time hasn't covered the fee of 30 quid. Only made £24.20. Now I've had a quick look at that. I haven't been checking on these during the month. I've just took a total hands-off approach. All I've been doing is making sure the software is still running and I'm not getting any errors and that there's no updates. If there is updates or errors, I'm just coming out of it, going back in and running it again. I'm running both. I'm running the man version on one mini PC and the boy version on a different mini PC. Both in the same place, just stacked on top of each other. It's a great system. I've also got Betfair Bot Manager running sim mode on one of them as well. The only issue I've got at the minute is the man one was the first one I had set up, and that's only an 8 gig machine, whereas the boy one's a 12 gig machine. So I really could do with switching those around, but it would mean taking all the accounts out of one EWS and putting them in the other, and vice versa, swapping them around basically. So I've just left that as it is. I mean, they both seem to run pretty well. I think I put the BF Bot Manager onto the second server, so it's running on this sort of boy one, so it's not impacting the man. So 24.20 is a bit disappointing. I had a look because obviously, like I say, I haven't been looking at these during the month, but I've had a quick look there at the end of the month. On yesterday it was when I had a look, and I've got only like 3 accounts putting bets on. It's like Poker Stars, bwin, something else, and there's not many bets going on it at all. So £24.20 is pretty good because they're only 25 pence each way bets as well. It's just I'm not getting volume of bets on. I did have Sky on there, 25 pence each way, but the last bet for Sky seemed to be the 22nd of September. So I do need to have a look to see if I've been totally gubbed or restricted on that account or whether it's just an error. It did seem to be logged in yesterday though. Okay, and there's nothing in the error log to say that Sky is erroring out for any reason. So I do need to try and just place a manual bet and get that sorted out. So I'm going to keep running with this because it's obviously up 100 quid from last month. So I mean, I'm just going to keep running with it. It's nearly a year old now. I started last November. So the only thing I do need to do as well, I got an email the other day, I think it was to Mrs. D's account from Ladbrokes, saying there was a free bet waiting for us. So that sounds like the account's been unrestricted. I've had that before on Bet365, whereby after like a period of time, they just start sending you offers again. I don't know if they inadvertently unrestrict your account or what, but it's happened once with Bet365. If anybody who's been following us a while will know that quite a few months back, I think it was April or May, it was probably this time here when profits went back up again. All right, okay, so I lost Bet365 there again, but I've probably lost there. I was state restricted there in February on Bet365, and then I lost it completely there. But I think it came back where I could get a fiver on again, as opposed to like 50 pence. Anyhow, I need to have a look at that lad's email, because I've got a feeling that if they give me a free bet, I might be able to get a bet on again. And if not, I'll at least use the free bet. So moving on then, affiliate marketing. Yeah, this has dropped a little bit. It's since Mike shut down the EWS affiliate link. So if you were using my link, it would have been going to a screen where he's adamant that if you put your details in, your email address, and he contacts you when the software's opened up again. I'm not even 100% sure if the software's opened up. If anybody knows, stick it in the Discord server. I'll put a comment in this video. But he was adamant that like if I sort of still passed anybody over, I would still get a small commission for that. But with my sales dropping, I'm not sure if that's the case. The money's dropped, so I'm not sure if that's the case or not. It'll be interesting as well as if it's open again. Has anybody joined recently who used my link and who provided your email details to Mike through his like web form when it said this promotion's closed? Just so I can contact them again if that is the case, because I'm not 100% sure. Maybe that nobody has, and then a few people have stopped using it, which would explain it perfectly. So I'm not saying one way or the other. It would just be interesting to know if anybody has. But anyhow, because going into the affiliate marketing software, it's like a very pain, because I don't even understand what's going on in it. You get so many fees and stuff, and this, that, and the other. You can't really make head nor tail of anything. It's not the most user friendly. So moving on, betting gods. We stopped doing that because I just didn't think it was worth it. I didn't have the time to do it really. I'll be picking that back up in November when I go back out to Spain, because I'll be able to do it from there. I'll be able to get me bets on with a few bookies I've got left. So that should be better. In fact, I was only following the greyhounds at the end. I might try some of the bookies I'm restricted on for the horse racing, because sometimes you're only restricted on certain sports. And obviously with using AWS, the first sport you're going to lose is horse racing, but some bookies will block you and not allow you to put bet on anything. But we'll see. But I will be picking that back up in November, because I was doing okay with that. I only had one losing month, and that was only £3. ACCA insurance I haven't done. I was going to pick that up in the new season, but obviously I lost my Ladbrokes accounts, both of them. So, but having said that, if I have got my Ladbrokes account again, I'll pick that back up, because we're into the season now whereby you should start looking at your football trading, because we've had 8 games. Well, I think the Premier League's only had 7, but most of the Football League or the UK leagues and some of the foreign ones have had 8 games, which is when you should start looking at starting your football trading or betting, because things have levelled out. The new signings and new managers and everything have had that chance to start impacting the teams and stuff. So that's when you should start looking at placing your bets. I wouldn't have done anything on football anyway before now. But if I do get my Ladbrokes account up and running, I just need to find out the login credentials and try and log in and see if I can get any bets on. I'll pick this back up, because it was a nice little learner while I was doing it. A few extra quid a month. Odds Monkey, I've done a little bit of match betting, but not a lot. I just haven't got the time to do it. All I'm doing again is logging in and making sure each month that I get enough profit there to cover the subs, which is currently for me $19.99 a month, so I only need 20 quid's worth each month. That doesn't take too long of my time to get, so I just do that just to make sure I'm covering it. Um, I don't want to cancel Odds Monkey because I believe if it's one of those softwares, I think when if I was to cancel it and sign back up like in a 6 months time, I'd be paying the current rate, which I think is a lot more than 19.99. I think it's one of those softwares where it keeps you on the rate that you signed up at, and meant to be always will do, but I'm not sure if that will be the case or not. TaskRabbit, not doing anything on that, not plan on doing anything on that until maybe next March when I come back. It'll be this period here when I come. Actually, done it April this year, sorry. So next year it'll be March or April. That's even if I do that. It was a nice little learner when I've done it. I think I've done a video on that and stuff. Exponential bet, that's in red, so that's out of the equation. Betfair trading. If you follow the Discord server, I was posting up the daily green numbers from the 4 dog strategies I was doing, and then I eventually and luckily posted up someone's request. I posted up all the transactions for the last couple of months since about mid-July that made up those numbers. And then somebody pivot tabled it up and came back and said that the profits look low. And obviously, I can't remember what the numbers were, but they weren't the 300 quid profit. I mean, I wasn't expecting to be 300 because obviously I've been doing this for a couple of months more than that as well, probably from about May, June. But from mid-July, it was only showing about 30, 40 quid or whatever it was. I can't remember. But we're down on the sort of probably what I was expecting, about 100 or 200 quid's profit for the last 2 months. And it turns out like it might be a problem with Betfair Bot Manager. I haven't got to the bottom of it. I haven't looked into it too much other than the fact that I've looked at a couple of days since and it hasn't been far out, but it's always been out by a few pence for the last few days. So I don't even understand how it can be. I mean, what if it says in the total on one screen should add up to the sum of everything on the next screen, but it doesn't. Somebody was saying Discord server that when it restarts strategies, it might lose the total and then, which is ridiculous if it does. Anyhow, I've turned those off on that for October because I'm not confident at all. I've actually turned all 4 of them off because I don't know if I'm making 300 quid or about 30 quid. So till I get to the bottom of it, I've turned them off, and what I'm doing now is I'm just running a Betfair Exchange profit and loss report at the end of every month for the month. So these numbers here I'm showing on the screen now is a breakdown. It only breaks it down by sport though, not your strategies. So I'm just going to have to apologise and say this is all I can get out of it at the minute. But I'm sure if I run my profit and loss account for Betfair Exchange, I've had £142 profit. So all I can do now is go through those in detail. So the football is primarily, apart from when I do a little bit of, which isn't a lot of manual trading, primarily that's the Keep It Green, which is further down, which is showing a negative 41. I do need to sort this out because, sorry, the Keep It Green showing a negative of 14. So I've actually made about 25 quid minus that 14 to give 11. I'm double counting this as well. Is a problem. I need to work out how I can do this better. Because you can see there, I've got £11.23 profit on the football, but that includes Keep It Green, which places Betfair Exchange bets. I do use a piece of software called PounceBet as well, which I've not went into anything on the channel. And that's why I didn't want to have to report me Betfair Exchange profits, but there's nothing I can do about it. So basically the 3 main things I do is PounceBet, which sometimes has some football on, but it's mainly like a lot of tennis as well. But the tennis isn't on yet because there hasn't been any. Turned it off because I was losing too many. So I'm just doing the football there. The manual trading, where I've gone and manually traded a few games and done okay, and also the Keep It Greens included in that 11.23, which is a minus 14 profit. So I've probably made about 25 quid if I haven't lost 14 on Keep It Green. The golf, I'm going to try and do a video on it. I'm not up to speed with it yet. I've only done a couple of weekends, but I've been following the Trade Ninja. You've probably seen Trade Ninja mentioned around. A lot of you will probably already have joined, but it's about £10 a month. So the golf, I've been using that the last couple of months. Had a really good winner, No, sorry, not the last couple of months, last couple of weeks. So it's only a couple of weekends. So I had a chance to look into that in any deal, but I'm £16 up. Only very small stakes, by the way, but had a really good winner on one of the weekends and then nothing on the other two. And that's made it £16 up. The Greyhounds is primarily then the four bots that were running. So that would suggest in September I've made £54.65. But I don't know how that. I'd have to go back on the Discord server and have a look at my my first post in September, like the 1st of September or thereabouts, and my last one. See what the difference was on the green numbers and see if that was anywhere near 54 quid. I suspect, well, I don't know, it might be because I've been tottering around the 300 quid according to Betfair Bot Manager. I've been tottering around 350 quid for quite a while up and down from there, so it might be 50 quid, I don't know. I will try and get a chance to have a look at that. And then I've got the horse racing. Now, the horse racing is, what's the horse racing? I've got a few little strategies in Betfair Exchange. So I made 60 quid out of that. I'm trying to think if I've got anything else on the horse racing. This is a problem. I've got stuff going on in Betfair that I haven't documented on the channel because I do loads of different things and I only try and bring stuff to you if there's anything working. Otherwise, I'll just ditch them. I'm just trying to think what that horse racing's made up of. Trying to think the horse racing. I've got a few little strategies in Betfair, so it must just be that. I hadn't realised they'd done that well, actually. But I mean, it's only 60 quid, but it's not bad when you add it to the rest. I will look into the horse race and see what that's made up of because I can go and have a look at some of the bets. Probably reminders as soon as I went in there. It doesn't include the Fairbot thing that I put on because that was the 1st of October and these are just September figures. Yeah, I've just brought a Fairbot video out that you might have already seen. So Bet247 Pros in red, it's gone. Keep It Green didn't do very well this month. I did change the stakes from £1 to £5. So it's less than 3 points down, to be honest, but still a loss. I'm getting a bit lost off with not lost off, but the BetCloud interface doesn't seem great for long-term reporting. So all I've done there is I've gone through all the trades in September and just added them together. They come to minus 14.45. So we'll see how that one goes next month. Got to keep an eye on it. It was doing okay, but I don't know. The last sort of week or so, it's lost quite a few bets. So the graph's coming down. If you go to betchat.cloud it is, you can see it on the front screen. You can see the graph. If there's anybody not following it. So I changed it from £1 to £5 early in the month, but not on the 1st. So I can't quite exactly get the number of points because I haven't worked it all out. But that's the exact profit anyway, or should I say loss. So moving on to Forex trading, that's been another disaster. About 62 quid down there, so I've only got about 38 quid left of me 100 quid. I'm nearly at the point of sacking that one off, to be honest. It just hasn't performed like it was in trial. In trial, it was like dipping in and out of the market like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Whereas now this one, it's just done 3 trades on the first day, and it's done a stop loss on 2 of them, and then it's still got 1 going and running at a loss. So I'm expecting this to get even lower because I think the price was about 110. Now it's down to 105. But it's like it seems to be in it for the long term until you hit the stop loss, and then just comes out for a loss. Whereas in the demo, when I was using it in trial, it was as the price was dropping, it was buying more to compensate. So when the price did rise at some point, it would sell them at a profit, the individual ones that you bought at a lower price, and keep the higher ones. And it's not that price has just been dropping. The price has been up and down, but it's never gone back up to anywhere near like the price that I bought them at on the first day. So I just expect a lot more activity, and it's just so boring sitting watching it. And obviously, I put 100 quid in because I can afford to put it in and lose it. Obviously, it wasn't the ideal scenario losing it, but you don't put anything in and don't put any money in any of these things that you can't afford to lose. But yeah, it's not going great. So I'm gonna just see what happens at £100 in worst case scenario. Maybe like leading up to Christmas or just after, I might put another 100 quid in and start it again and use the exact same setup that I was using on the demo, or at least run the demo again. See if we can get going, because I stopped the demo when I went live as well, which probably a mistake in hindsight. I should have kept that one going to see what I was doing. Anyway, moving on. 261 we've made this month on Crep Chief Notify reselling. Now, this is an interesting one because this is 261 quid brand new income, which I didn't make in any other months because I only started this month in September. I have done a video on this one, so if you want to look that up. The disadvantages of it is that you need to spend time doing it. It's manual work. You have to source products and buy them, and they're normally high demand products, so it's quite difficult to get your hands on them sometimes. So other times it's not. And then you have to sell them, so you have to either list them on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree are the three I've used. And then you have to sell them. Obviously, eBay, it's posting stuff out, well, packaging up, posting out, taking the post office, or getting it picked up by Royal Mail. I've been using, staying away from every. Dear me, I'll not go into that. Not this time. I'll go into it in a future video though. Or if it's not eBay, then if you're selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree, you're typically going to have people arranging to come round to see the product, at which point they'll try and offer you like loads less, which is a waste of their time coming. If you're not going to accept it, it's a waste of my time. Blah de blah, but you get some right chances offering like half the price of what you're asking before you even before they even come and see anything. And like, well, do you not want to see it first? You might not even like it. Yeah, or even a couple I've met them in public around town and stuff like that, which isn't ideal. I don't think you're meant to do that, but I'm not really bothered from a selling point of view. There's no skin off my nose if they don't know where I live or anything like that. But yeah, it's been interesting. I made 261 quid on I think on the video I'd done about 14, 15 products. I have got some more stock, which I am going to try and sell off during October. But with us going away at the end of October, start of November, I'm not going to buy anything else. I've made a decision to stop buying anything else. I'm just going to sell what I've got. So all I'm going to do in October is I think my subscription is just renewed for October, so I'm going to cancel it after this month because I can't see any point in having it while I'm away, because you can't do anything. You can't do what I've just said. You can't do the process by living away. You have to at least be in the UK. It's something I've been looking at and thinking about. If you were traveling, could you do it? I think the answer is yes, because you can, as long as you've got somewhere to keep all the stock. That's going to be your biggest issue, and it depends what you're buying. If you're just buying a few things at a time and then selling them and then going back in and buying a few more, like, it could be a few pairs of trainers, it could be like jewellery, watches and things, as long as you're happy enough. Like if you're travelling around keeping them in the van, you don't need to be located in one place. But if you were located in one place and you had like a garage or some storage or a shed in your garden or a spare room in your house, that would be ideal, this kind of thing. I honestly could have made a hell of a lot more than the 261 quid. I really could. In fact, it wasn't 261, it's £260.85 according to the screen there. I really could have done a lot more. Probably, I think, and not sort of bigging it up or anything, I think I could have easily done a grand's worth in September if I'd gone in for all the products that I were interested in. That's assuming I could have got them, and also assuming I could have sold them for the prices that were on. Just a rough estimate. I mean, I've done a quarter of 1,000, so I restricted myself to smaller items. Well, not small items, but cheaper items. I was buying toys. I was buying collector things. I stayed clear of the trainers and stuff, apart from one pair which I bought and wore myself. But that's another story. So finally, then campsite warden, £1,000 is another 5-week month last month. So got paid 1,000 instead of 800. And the news there is we're ending at the end of October, so that'll be the last one here. So the income will totally drop off after that. But the other news, and I don't know if I've mentioned this in a different video, is we're coming back and doing the same next year on the same site. We've been asked back again, so we've obviously been doing a cracking job. No, but we've been asked back again, so we're starting again next April for another 6 months through to the end of September. But this year we just got asked to stay until the end of October, so the owner could have a bit holiday and do some stuff around his house. So that's it for Driftometer update for the September 2023. Done really well, 2,397, bringing our total for the year to 16,500. Cracking stuff. Okay, that's it now. Cheers out. Gan Canny.